Really, Twitch? Are we playing this game again? Just like yesterday, that your servers will be horrible throughout my stream? Are you really doing that to me today as well? Seriously? Oh my god. But I was going to say, Victor, isn't it something good that maybe the series doesn't have the same magic as the games and then it could have a different magic? Because yes, games will be games, series will be series. It is actually something impossible that we are asking for them to be doing, right? So maybe instead of seeing it as a bad thing, maybe it's actually what it is. Like we could hope for another sort of magic or another sort of different impact on us that's not like the games because they are different things, so we should expect different things as well. Maybe of course if there are connections or if one can be, I don't know, close to resemble the other, like, oh yeah, this movie feels like the game or this series feels like the game. Yeah, it helps us to enjoy it because it's about something you already love. But we can also try enjoying something that's also different from its origins, right? Even though it may be very hard for you to think about it, or it may be hard for them to do something great if they try to change many things, but it is possible. And especially in this case of Zelda, as it's already established that it's going to be hard for them to give us the same idea of the games, maybe it's better than for them to not go on that direction. Because if it's already sounding very hard, do something different. Like come up with something completely different that of course still has connection to Zelda, but not necessarily in the way the games do. Maybe it's something good. Like it doesn't necessarily means that it's going to be bad. It has high chances, but if they know that they won't be able to do something according to their biggest reference, which is the games, or which are the games, so invest your idea on something else, like go on another direction but do your best on that direction, and then maybe it will work better without like forcing us to be comparing something that will never get close to the games. Also, hi Marmo, welcome, how are you? Only now I saw your message in there. Happy birthday to everybody in here that's celebrating it in February. Ultras is not up until June. Ultras, you are Cancer, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know Victor's horoscope anymore. Oh, Victor is Aquarius too? I didn't know we were all Aquarius. That's the oil you are flavoring. Oh, it was a jar. There we go. There is supposed to be a new Mortal Kombat. Yes, there is a new Mortal Kombat on the way. You think it seems sus? Well, I did not really see the news that much, but I kinda saw people excited for it. Why do you think it feels sus? Also, hey Subaru, how are you? I was fixing my chat in here because I ended up stretching out the window a lot and then it was messing up with my setup in here. In a way, yeah, but with Zelda, the very things that make it great are the very things that doesn't work as a series. Well, Ultras gave me one point, that Link is mute, right? He doesn't speak. But then what else? Is it that you kind of have a very first person perception or like first person view playthrough when you're playing Zelda that won't be like that when you watch a series. What I mean by that is that we are every freaking time under the lenses of Link, right? And then in a series, maybe Link won't be in every freaking scene. We may be having scenes of other characters that will maybe not give you the same immersion that you have when you play it yourself in the video game. What I mean is that in the series, in my opinion, Link is a somewhat very lonely hero. And then maybe in the series or in a series, they would need to bring up more characters so it doesn't get too tedious. Although by doing that, it's ruining Link loneliness in his adventure in the games. Of course, Link gets friends and he saves people and everything, but if you stop to think about it, everything he does is very independent. Like, I mean, there is the fairy, right? There is Navi or uh, Taro, right? Taro, I think it's her name in Majora's Mask. But besides that, it's a very introspective and lonely journey. And then if they are coming up with a series, they probably will give you scenes of other characters, scenes of, that won't even have Link on them. Maybe that's another difference. But with Zelda, the very things that make it great are the very things that don't work as a series, so it would be better to just make a different series instead of trying to cash in on the name of Zelda. Maybe a spin-off then? I can see a spin-off. Yeah, a spin-off could work. But then, like I was also saying earlier, it will be weird for you to have a Zelda-based show without Link, but it could maybe work better than having Link in there and his characteristics or personality not being really well adapted. Zelda also has a lack of interesting side characters to make a show about. Maybe because what I was also saying right now, that the Zelda games are more about Link's experience than anybody's else, right? Otherwise, that would probably be the best way to go. Yeah, because how do you pick a personality for Link when the whole idea of him not speaking is because you were supposed to make a character or make the character for him and be his own dialogue? I mean, in the Persona games, the characters they have a somewhat voice, but it's the same idea kind of. You are always speaking his dialogue or coming up with his personality. But he does have a voice because when he's summoning the personas, you can hear his voice. But for most game, he is not saying a word unless it is the dialogue. Like you pick the dialogue, And Link also needs to choose the dialogue because it's you choosing his dialogue. So I can make a comparison in here between the two franchises, but I still see what you guys are saying. Although Persona was able to have an anime. And I cannot remember if the character was speaking. He probably was. But that's funny. I do not remember. I watched the anime and I can't remember if he was speaking his own dialogue. He probably was. But when I try to remember about it, I feel like he wasn't. That's kinda crazy. But Persona has an anime. And the anime was good, like, I really liked it. But it's kinda the same character in the games that he doesn't really speak up. You can't do the exploration and sense of adventure in the same way. Yeah, I was struggling to imagine how would they adapt that. Unless it is something more like the Hyrule Warriors games, and then you can imagine something closer to the Lord of the Rings regarding the battles. But when you think about more standard games like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, it's not going to give you the same, I don't know, intensity or epicness in the battles, because it's going to be something more one-on-one, and then is it really going to fit well for a series instead of something more epic with lots of enemies and a lot of fights? And then there is the way the games tell the story. It's driven by your actions, which is what makes it interesting in a way. But that doesn't work in a show. Yeah, because you won't be deciding his actions. That's even more or so why Nintendo mentioned for Breath of the Wild that had Link look a little more gender neutral as well. Really, they did that? I didn't know that. I know that they introduced a new female character called Linko, and that happened in the Hyrule Warriors game, if I'm not mistaken. Zelda wouldn't be locked up in some place like Peach would be, would her? Or would she? That's what Sabru is saying. I mean, Ganondorf normally kidnaps Zelda, so maybe? There are even games that Zelda is not like that important in them. For example, Majora's Mask. But Hyrule Warriors is just a slasher game with Zelda characters and no really important story, so there is no substance there to make a show of. Well, I don't know how to answer that, Victor, because I get it. Like it is like a somewhat spin-off, but I'm pretty sure it's not as empty as what you're saying. For example, this most recent Hyrule Warriors game, it seems that the story they tell in there is very connected to Breath of the Wild and the past of what was going on in Breath of the Wild. I can't say what it was because I still haven't played those games, but I do think they do have importance in the, I don't know, in the timeline or something. And funny enough, making another comparison, I was saying that the main character of Zelda and Persona, they are both kind of silent and you kind of take their position to make the decisions. Funny enough, there is a Persona slasher game, or I forgot how those games are called. There is another name for them, but there is a Persona game like that too, and it's going to be the sequel of Persona 5. And another fun fact, they are releasing that game this month. It's called Persona Strikers, if I'm not mistaken. And it seems it's going to have a lot of plot, but of course not more plot than the main games. But as it's going to be the sequel of Persona 5, I'm expecting something major, It's not going to be as empty as it may seem. I remember a video of someone on behalf of Nintendo talking about that for Link and Breath of the Wild. Interesting, I didn't know that that Link was kinda gender blend, but it maybe makes sense to me now, I'm not sure. I think they should give you the two options, like, do you wanna play as a female Link or a male Link? The same goes for Persona games. I think they also should give you the female protag option, because that has only happened on Persona 3. And then they removed that from the other games. Persona 5 is Strikers, right? Yeah, that game is coming up soon. I'm very curious about it. I will try my best to not spoil myself, because as it's going to be released on Steam, there is a chance I can play it myself. But you have played... Oh, you played one of them? So you probably played the first one. And then the story was not really interesting. Breath of the Wild's reasoning for Link not talking is rather interesting. He's not mute, he just chooses not to talk due to the burden put on him. Wait, what? What the heck? So Link is that edgy? Now that I have Tanemon, I think I will go for Let me check the chart again. I can't remember what I haven't tried yet. So out of those three Digimon we have there, I wouldn't say that I trained their speed for Palmon to become them. So maybe I should go for speed right now. And what else? Draco, hey man, thank you so much for the resub. How are you? And speaking about the Hyrule Warriors games, that's right there, Draco. He's one of the people that I know that loves those games the most. Draco, we are talking about a possibility of the creation of a Zelda series. And then we are coming up with reasons of why those ideas maybe wouldn't work really well for Zelda per se. And then some great topics were brought up in here, especially the fact that Link doesn't talk. It's something kind of obvious but easily forgettable. So I was like, man, you were right. He doesn't talk, so how would they fit Link in a show or in a series? But yeah, we are trying to see if there are other elements that would be hard for them to adapt. I also brought up that, in my opinion, those games, the Zelda games in general, they are very around Link per se. Like you only have his perspective throughout the game, and then he makes some friends here and there. But the adventure is a very lonely adventure, and it's about his own experience. But in a series, I imagine that they would have scenes that won't even have Link in them or something. So we are kind of imagining how would they be able to adapt a Zelda show if that ever comes to reality. And I do hope it comes to reality, even if it's a failure, because I would love to see an attempt of it. But then I also think they should go on a different path. Like, don't try to make it exactly like the games because it probably won't work really well. But then they need to be very creative and do a fantastic job to give us a different perception or direction for the Zelda franchise. But it's doable. It is possible. It may not be as great as the games, but I think it's possible. That's why I want to see it happening. Rather a more gender neutral character in that case, would say. The whole reason to have a choice would be to make it more inclusive, but just having two options is less inclusive than a neutral character, at least in theory. I mean, there could be some changes. For example, in the Persona games, when they finally introduced the female pro tag, there were game changes. Like you'd have a somewhat different experience with even different people you would be meeting in your playthrough if you play it as the female pro tag. I don't know how does that happen in the Fire Emblem games, but I imagine that if you pick the male or the female, maybe you also have a different experience, or is that not like in the Fire Emblem games? Victor just got the 100th star in Mario 64. There we go, man. I still need to go back to the original Mario 64 and try to get the stars in there. I only completed getting all of the stars from the remake, Mario 64 DS, which is easier because you can play the game with Luigi and the other characters. They have better abilities and more precisioning in your platforming. So I can't say that it was too hard, but in the original Mario 64, I still gotta collect them all. Didn't Link have a show once upon a time where he actually talked? You know, where the whole, well, excuse me, princess came from? To be honest, I'm not sure. I heard about the meme, but I don't know. Like I thought it was actually the game. Wasn't it a game like that freaking horrifying game that everybody talks about? But it was a show actually. I'm not sure. So there was the show that he spoke. But yes, maybe the best approach for this supposed Zelda series is for us to maybe not have Link or have a complete different story. It sounds weird, but I don't think it is impossible. So there was a Zelda cartoon. I thought it was something from the games because there were those shitty looking Zelda games. I thought that all of those things were from those games that I haven't played. The CD-ROM games. Ultras can see it, or who knows, they could very well cleverly make him a character that doesn't have script. But that's so funny, man. I will need to go back to the Persona anime. I cannot believe that right now I'm not sure if the protagonist there was silent or not. That's so funny because the freaking Persona anime felt a lot like the games. And it did not bother me to care if he was talking or not because right now I cannot remember. It's so crazy. He probably was speaking, but I was not really noticing that. You know what? Maybe he was not speaking because probably if he were speaking, I would be more shocked. And then right now I wouldn't be mistaken about my memories, right? So probably he was silent, but the anime worked out really well. Maybe it is possible for them to come up with a Zelda series where Link doesn't talk. But then it may feel strange for the people that are not fans of Zelda, because then they will wonder like why is he not speaking? It would be something more targeted for the fans. Hi Christian, how are you? I actually got to the last word of Polybridge, but I could not beat it, man. We got to the last word of Polybridge, and then I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Actually, never mind. I got to the last level before the last word, which was a very hard level that you had to build a 20 kilometers long bridge or something. I can't remember the unit or the size of the bridge they were asking you to build, but it was 20 something. I don't know if it's 20,000 kilometers or 20 kilometers, but it was like a very long bridge. Oh, that's the one. Maybe it was not 20 then, but it was the last level before the last word for sure. A super long bridge. That's where I got stuck, and I was like realizing that Polybridge was asking a lot from us, and then maybe I wouldn't be able to easily come across those challenges and hardships. And what I did that day, I decided to skip that level to check what was up ahead. And then on every freaking level from the last word I checked, I was like, are you freaking kidding me that this is what you're asking me to be doing? I felt that was feeling unfair. And then I decided to give up on the game because we did our best, but I really got like frustrated to the point that I thought it was impossible for me to proceed. But I was really proud we got that far. Even though sometimes I will admit we could only beat some levels because of the game glitching and helping us out somehow. We were lucky on the glitches. But yes, the game got really, really, really unfair by the end of it. Levels that they were asking you to do the impossible with like 3 bars and 2 pieces of road. I was like, what? Levels that were asking you to put the cars up the mountain, but like a very high mountain, and then you had no resources to build anything. Yeah, it felt really impossible, Christian, and then we gave up on that one level, the 100 meters bridge then. I will try Poly Bridge 2 at some point, but I will also be honest, it's not happening anytime soon. But I do even have the game. But yes, I will go into other games now, and maybe someday I'll go back to it. But then once I go back to Poly Bridge 2, I also don't think I will raise my expectations towards beating that game. Because if it is as hard or as challenging as the first game, I will see how far I can go. But once it starts feeling impossible, I will pack my things and move on because yeah, Polybridge 1 was really challenging, way harder than what I was expecting at first, but at the same time, I'm proud of the community working here for us to get where we could get. But seriously, they were asking for our blood by the end of that game. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? You look at the level and then you don't even know how they had the bravery to release such a painful level, you know. I don't know. I felt like this is unfair. This is where I'm stopping. Or who knows, they could very well cleverly make him a character that doesn't have script. I need to go back to Persona. I will try to remember if he was not speaking in there. Wait, I got a host in here? Thank you for the host, but for some reason I could not see who really hosted me because my feed activity did not update, but thank you so much for the host. That's what you are eating right now? Let me see. Wait, is it some... Yeah, it's some like toast with bacon, right? It's looking really good, man. Do you have something to drink as well? Oh, it was Dave. Dave, thank you so much for the host. For some reason, it did not updating here on my feed, but thank you so much, man. How are you? Actually, Twitch has been very weird, right? I'm getting disconnections from the server out of nowhere. It's been happening since yesterday. Yesterday it happened like 3 times, and today we had it happening once. So I don't know what the heck is going on Twitch, but please Twitch, fix yourself so I don't have these issues going on, and please update my feed activity as well. So Ultras is saying that Mario 64's difficulty still holds up. I'm pretty sure. Those old platformer games, I'm sure they will destroy me by the time I go back to them, but I will, because it's a childhood dream of mine to freaking beat Super Mario Bros. 3 because it is my favorite Mario platformer, or at least my favorite 2D Mario platformer. I still haven't beaten it because I always get lost into the freaking fortress maze in the last world. Someday I will find the exit to that and I will beat that game. But yes, Mario games are hard, they will always be hard, no matter how much time passes by. I tried getting 120 stars a few years ago and the difficulty unmotivated you at some point. Maybe you should try the remake. The remake is easier. Yeah, it will also give you some challenges, especially in the last levels like the Rainbow Ride. But having Yoshi, having Luigi, and having Wario, it helps you to, use their techniques and moves to kind of have an easier time to collect the coins and get the stars. But I will go back to the original because I kind of also want to try it again. He did, I brought that up yesterday. Wait, I lost the context now. Fire Emblem has a relationship and support level, and then there is the question of getting married, or some characters can get married. Yeah, but you cannot marry the same people if you go on the female protag or male protag, right? They will give you different options, I imagine. In the Persona games, when you have that split, you have other social links. The only reason I see to have different experiences for a male and female character would possibly be certain relations between character or maybe specific story stuff if done right. Most of the time when that's done, it's kind of stupid and completely unnecessary. It's interesting that you think like that, Victor. To me, it feels like extra. Like you would be able to have a different uh, impression or experience. It feels like also having a post game. So to me, not that it feels like necessary, I can agree on you that it can be unnecessary, but I don't see it like a bad thing. To me, it kind of adds more content, more cutscenes, more dialogues, more cutscenes even, or like side quests. So I don't know. In Three Houses, you know that if you start playing as the female protag, the most how can I say that in English? The biggest dater person, is that a word in English? Like the person who dates the most, the most dateable character gets harder. Actually, never mind. He gets easier for you to recruit him, huh? No worries, Polybridge 2 starts the difficulty curve over again, and you can probably get throughout most of the game. Yeah, I will definitely try it, even if I can't beat it like in the first game. I want to see the changes and how they were able to improve it, of course. But of course, I also won't be expecting to beat it, because Polybridge 1 taught me a lesson. It will be easier for the beginning, probably. And before the new mechanics they start to show up, right? Oh, Polybridge 2 has the Twitch integration, there we go. We tried that on the first game, but it was not working properly, which was sad. Yeah, Polybridge 1 had that, but it was not working when I was testing that out. Davy's doing okay, he's just tired though. Some people have been tired this weekend, right? X5 was tired too. But I hope you guys can get some rest. It was a French toast and he's just drinking water. Twitch doesn't know how to handle all of the extra people. I think they would have gotten a handle on it after a year of this. Actually, good point, because some weeks ago or maybe a month ago, they were having a lot of server issues. Like, it was every freaking night. There was even one day that I decided to postpone my stream in some more hours because I was seeing a lot of people complaining on Twitter on how unstable Twitch was, and they couldn't fix it. Like, on every freaking day, they were having the same issue going on. But oftentimes it ends up treating the players differently because of gender without any reason to do so. Well, one thing that I will say is that it sucks when they go for a more, I don't know, sexualized uh, difference or differentiation of the characters, because then I would say it's like a stupid reason for sure. But I don't know. I still think it could be good for you to have an option. Like, do you want to play as a girl or as a man or something? It doesn't need to happen every time, of course. Like, there are games that work really well with a single gender for you to pick, and then that's their story. But I also don't see it as a problem, you know? I kind of have a 50-50 opinion about this. Also, hello, Drainwave. Welcome. How are you? So I decided to go for speed, right? Because I don't think that any of those three Digimon we have on the chart for Palmon are fast. So hopefully we'll get a different Digivolution by giving her speed. You are very tired, I will commit the sleep in 3 hours. I will commit the stream in 3 hours. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic has a thing where you will have a different party member depending on the gender. Oh, good call, Alza. Good call, man. I need to get Palmon first. And I was saying that to get her, I believe I need to train her attack, right? Good call. I should train attack first. It has a thing where you will have a different party member depending on the gender of your character. And if you remember it right, they did it in an interesting way. But if we take, for instance, how the dialogue in some Pokemon games, for instance, that's just plain stupid in your opinion. Wait, but in Pokemon there is no difference, is there? Victor, I think it doesn't change anything in Pokemon. Actually, Pokemon is the game that I can think that if you pick the female protag or the male protag, there is no difference. Only the aesthetics, of course. So for some games it works, but I think it would work better for what they were intending often if it's a more gender neutral character that's just badass or something. But then in my opinion, for you to come up with a gender neutral character, it actually sounds like something very hard, like to design such a character. I mean, I'm talking about the character's appearance, but if you guys are talking about the character's personality, then I agree. Because, for example, Link. Link is. What do you know about his personality? He has none. So it can be like a personality neutral character, and then I can see that working like you guys are saying. But regarding his appearance, I think it's complicated. It's harder to say, or harder to execute. Unless you have a really good reason for it, usually it isn't too well. In the first few Pokemon games where they had it in there, there was a difference. I can't remember that. The dialogue is way different in places without any reason. I do not remember that, to be honest. But yeah, the first time they did that was in Pokemon Crystal, right? I can't remember any differences in there. But you know what? Maybe I do not remember that because I did not play as a girl. Probably that's why. Yeah, that answers it. Probably that's why I don't know the differences because I have always picked the male protag. So now you made me curious to play those games as the female protag to see the differences. But still, even if there are some dialogue changes, I don't think it's a big deal for me to, I don't know, don't like the option. But I would agree that it's probably something maybe unnecessary for you to make differences on the dialogue. But I don't see it as a big thing, or unless it goes too far regarding how sexualized it gets. Like, I don't know, if you. Just like the example Subaru said right there, that if you play as the female protagonist in Fire Emblem, then the hardest character for you to date gets dateable or something, that kind of sounds like a bad idea. Or it sounds like, really, Nintendo? If you just don't give the character any gender defining traits, it shouldn't be too hard. Just make a badass looking character that could be whatever gender. It's done in anime. It is done in anime, yeah, sometimes it is. And stuff often enough that it's for sure doable. No, it is doable. I just thought it would be hard, but maybe I'm overthinking it. Not playing as a girl in video games? I actually normally don't play as girls in video games, but if there are video games that you play as a girl, then sure. But when there is the option, I normally go for the male protag. Well, people usually want the protagonist that they can most relate to. Yeah, kinda like that. But I don't know. I also don't think too much about it. Like, yeah, there is a boy and a girl. I'm a boy. Let's go, boy. But I don't really stop to think about a lot of things. Like, oh yeah, let me have a different experience by playing as a girl or something. No, I just go like fast. Oh yeah, let's play as a boy. I don't think too much about it. But now Victor is giving me reasons to play as a girl. At least in Pokemon games. Also, hey Soshi, welcome. It is faster to play as a guy. Well, it's easier for me to make that decision. Oh, because they say he instead of she. Good one right there. Subri is saying that the problem in the Fire Emblem games is that. Wait, what? Let me read it in Portuguese first and then I try to translate it. Okay, he's talking about when you have a sequel of a Fire Emblem game and then you have this gender difference or two different genders for the pro tags, it is hard for you to understand who is the mother or the father of the characters. And the only thing they can explain to you is that if you start having a male protag, you are going to have a daughter, or if it is a female protag, you're going to have a son or something. So it seems that the sequels of the Fire Emblem games they kind of get messy because of the different protags, right? Do you also create male characters when creation is a must? Normally, yes. Normally, I go for the male protag, yeah. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. I know there are a lot of people that they play as the female protag, and there is, of course, nothing wrong about that. But I don't know, to me, I kind of go for the male protag. Maybe I do relate to him more, but like I said, never really stopped to wonder. It's just, here's the option, which one do you go for? I go for this one. Hence why I'm saying that a neutral character is a good idea, since in theory it's equally relatable for everyone. I know, but for example, in the case of Link, if you guys were not bringing that up, that he was based on a neutral gender design, I could not see him as a girl. Although probably that's also why, because, or that also happens because I played the other Zelda games and then they taught me that he was a boy or a male. I mean, at least that's the impression I have always had. Who knows, maybe everything is different. But yeah, you see, like, it's hard for me to see him as a girl, even though he was designed that way. Like, can you easily see that? Even though you may have played the other Zelda games and then they probably gave you another impression. Oh, wowza, seriously? That's why you play as a girl? Come on, man. Kina for per tag? I'm down for that. Play female in MMOs, people will tier 3 sub and give free items. Yes, I'm aware of such a thing as well. I'm aware that many people, especially male people, they will have a female pro tag for benefits in games. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But I don't go that way, so. Well, I think that's kind of the point of a neutral character, that you see it as whatever you want. Yeah, without thinking about it, that's true. But then I wonder, like, would a new person playing Zelda really see the girl in there? In Link? Probably, right? I would need to check some blind reactions to people starting Zelda for the first time. I don't know if subconscious you have, but you never really paid any attention to gender of a character. That's true as well, like. But then when there is an option, when you need to choose, like, do you want to play as a boy or as a girl? But the other way they do it in there as well is that they kind of ask you, are you a boy or a girl? And then I kind of answer, what is my life? Oh, yes, I'm a boy. So that's why I also probably go for the male protag, because it's also the way they make that question to you. Normally it's a direct question, like, are you a boy or a girl? It's not like, do you want to play as a boy or a girl or something. But even on that other situation, or even with that different question, I think I would still pick the male protag. When there is an option, it depends on how good the character is and the game. Oh no, Ultras. If we are talking about fighting games, or yes, we are thinking about RPGs in here and adventure games. But yes, racing games, Mario Party, Smash Brothers, fighting games, of course. There are many female characters I will pick for sure. But like in an RPG game or something that, I don't know, it's more, I don't know, you have only two options, boy or girl or something. You gotta make a decision in there. Are you a boy or a girl? Did you just assume my gender? That's actually a good point now that you're bringing that up. There should be like another option, like other or neutral. It depends on the game. I think it ends up being more male because most games don't have an even representation. Yeah, only recently we are having more female protags in the video games, and like more indie games are bringing games with female protags, like Celeste, for example. But at some point, I think they will be able to get the representation, or at least hopefully close to a close representation between both types of games, the ones that have the male protags and the ones that have the female protags. At least that's the way to go. But then, like, when the games they have options, I don't know. In my case, I kind of always go for the male protag, but not for like a big reason. In RPG, depends as well. Yeah, no, Ultras, having characters in your party. But what about when you have like a single character game? In Resident Evil 1, Jill is the easy difficulty, Chris is the hard difficulty. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that example, because I like that they have different things happening with the different genders, but then it could also be something else that would differ on them, right? Like, Not necessarily the difficulty, but maybe other. Actually, that happens on Resident Evil 2, right? You have different missions as Claire and as how is it called? I forgot the guy's name. Leon. You have different stories with Leon and Claire, not about the difficulties. Gogo and Kina, right? Kina is also gender neutral. Kina from Final Fantasy IX. Tanemon will never evolve. He gotta evolve because my stream won't last forever today. Good call, Soshi. For me, it depends on the game. If you choose male or female, most of the time you choose female because they get better cosmetics. Better cosmetics? Do you mean better aesthetics? Monster Hunter being one, you prefer male because not a fan of the skimpy armor. Or do you mean really items? Yes, I will kill that, but first I need to move my chat up so I can click on the button. Okay, there we go. Welcome back, Victor. You don't see that so much gender mattered if the character is annoying AF? Or maybe one character's playthrough has more enticing content to offer. Yeah, and then we are talking about the differences when you can have in the game when you pick a different gender character. I like that. But at the same time, there are games that it is unnecessary, like Pokemon, for example. You like Samus? In fact, I can't see a male protagonist in a Metroid series. That's actually something great if they gave you that impression. It means that Samus is a freaking awesome character that it gotta be her. Cosmetics as in clothing and whatnot, regardless if it affects the game or not. Yeah, there are games that it's only for cosmetics, and when it's just cosmetics, I don't seriously mind it that much. But when the cosmetics have some extra effect, then I could be doubtful about which character I would go for. But in general, I don't think they have, or at least I haven't played many games that cosmetics were a big part of changing my character's stats or something. Or they would have like the same options. People used to think that Samus was male, yeah, and then only those that got to beat the game under the certain time, they could see the truth, right? Well, for sure, if you don't know Samus, yeah, Samus is a she. The name Samus in suit doesn't scream female right away at all, that's true. Yeah, Samus being a female character was a big reveal to the public. You dislike games that try and force the female character to be badass? Can you give me an example? I can't think on an example, to be honest. There are some strong female characters, but I would not say they are badasses. Like any character, they have their problems, they have their flaws. Some stuff can be cringy and type of overdone badassness. Man, that's a hard word. I can't say it. Badassness. There we go. Badassness. Also, hi Duke, welcome. Samus is a perfect example of why sex isn't important when it comes to gameplay or storyline. Good point. Yes. Totally agreed with you, and someday I hope I can play Super Metroid by my own, even though I'm not sure if I will love that game, but I gotta give it a shot. When you were little, you thought that Link was a girl. I used to think that Link was Zelda, thanks to the whole name of the franchise dilemma, right? But I don't think I used to think Link was a girl. Only because you thought Link was Zelda. Yes, I used to think Link was Zelda. That's funny now that I'm thinking about it. I used to think that that name was Zelda, but why do I not remember? Man, they brainwashed me really well. Nintendo brainwashed me really well because I do not remember picturing that character as a girl, but I remember associating Zelda to the character. So probably I used to think that that character was a girl and was named Zelda just like you, Ultras, but I cannot remember those days clearly anymore. Because today Link is kind of like a boy to me, a male. But man, you are right. Probably in the past I used to think that Link was a girl as well because I used to think he was named Zelda. That's so crazy. Or maybe it's what we were also saying, like when you are picking a character or playing a video game, you kind of don't think too much about the gender of the character you were playing as. And then, I don't know, I thought about the name but never associated it to my character. Man, that's very crazy. By the way, Sonya Blade, my friend plays Sonya Blade, or she mains Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat really well. Like, I cannot freaking beat her when she picks Sonya Blade. There is Rina from Digimon Redigitize. What about Rina? It's a female character that you think it's a badass and then you don't like her that much. Let me check a picture of her on Google. You always called Link for Zelda, and he's still Zelda for you. Her model reminds me of a character from The World Ends With You. This one, Rina Girl, right? I actually like her model. But she's a little bit like a waifu, right? But she has one of those. How is this Digimon called again? The baby? I think it's Botamon, right? She has a Botamon clothing. Sabri is saying that if the game is called The Last of Zelda and the protagonist being Link, it is weird. Not to mention that because Link is mute and there isn't to be many dialogues in the first Zelda games, it was hard for you to learn his name, especially in my case that I did not know English as a kid. Big reason of why I could not beat A Link to the Past as a kid as well, and then I got so frustrated. Yeah, like I had somebody to tell me that he was not named Zelda. I actually felt like Link had some feminine qualities in Breath of the Wild. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Now you guys are making me more curious to play Breath of the Wild to pay attention to that. Specifically in regards to some of the different. Oh, the outfits? Oh, I see. So maybe that's how they are doing it. Yeah, I haven't seen the variety of the outfits of Link, of course, but it makes sense. If he has other outfits, it could help you out to customize him more towards a boy or a girl, but in the end, like, gender neutral works. So Nubble is saying that he likes Secret of Mana's female protag. She goes against her father's orders and joins the male protag to search for her love interest while not relying on the male protag to do everything. She can fight and she knows it and lets you know it. We'll be getting to the mana games as well, right? The goal Nintendo was leaning towards for Breath of the Wild was gender neutral, yeah. I just never stopped to think about it. No, she's not badass, but she tries to act like one and it feels cringy. Everybody's trying to please everybody these days. I guess there is more people it matters to than it doesn't. She's kind of like the chick from Kingdom Hearts. I also gotta get into Kingdom Hearts. It's something you never really pay attention to be honest. Yes, I was not thinking too much about that, but I was being honest by saying that most of times I pick the male protag, but I don't stop to think about it. It's that I'm used to do it. Yeah, just make a good character and then that does it. She has a Vmon. I like Vmon. Something crazy that happened uh, about female protagonists is in the Persona games, like I was also mentioning earlier, but especially on Persona Q2, because it was like the second time they decided to bring the Persona the Persona 3 female protag to the franchise. And the fans and everybody was very hyped for that return, but nobody really knew how they would like fit her with the rest of the story, plus the existence of the male protagonist of Persona 3 being in that game as well. Like, how would they meet each other in that crazy crossover? And in the end, it was a very good combination because they even brought up an existential plot for the reasonings of why they both were in the same game, you know? And it was a really good story they had in there. I mean, maybe they did that just for like to please everybody because many people loved the female protag, and then let's also add her and then make this craziness to work, like this crazy game to work. But I actually like the plot they had, or the reasonings they had to have both protags coexisting in the same game instead of like you need to pick one or the other, you know. And it had a whole existential plot in there. You wanna eat farofa? I have farofa. I cooked that for lunch, but I cooked a more simple one. because normally I add eggs to it. No, the one I did today didn't have eggs. It was only sausage and onions. So I'm guessing that today you're going to digivolve, right? At least that's what I'm hoping for. That's probably enough attack for her to become Palmon. So I will go for the other stats. We gotta find some manioc. Have you ever found it in Canada? Like the root? Yeah, right. I think it would be better for you to order it online. In case you do find the root, I highly recommend you trying it cooked and fried. But then if you really want to try farofa, I don't know how can you really grate the root so you can have the powder of manioc. I have never seen somebody doing that. It's something we buy from the supermarket right away, it's already done in there. People, when they buy the root, they normally either cook it or fry it. Here in Brazil, fried manioc is actually a replacement or an option for French fries. There are some restaurants you can order fried manioc instead of French fries. So basically what I'm trying to say is that if you really want to go for farofa, maybe you need to find the powder, not necessarily the root, because I don't know how can you turn that root into powder very easily. You think you have a place that can have it? Yeah, but the tapioca starch is not the same thing. No, tapioca starch is for tapioca. It is not the same powder for farofa. It is different. Oh, you can find the root? Yeah, the root is great when fried or cooked, but the powder is complicated. Or the flour, right? Yeah, Ultros, I'm not sure how can you turn the root into the flour. Maybe there are ways, but the tapioca starch is different. Yeah, the tapioca starch is not what you use to make farofa. And another thing, Ultras, here in Brazil we have a somewhat variety of dishes that can be called farofa, even when they are not made out of tapioca, not tapioca starch, sorry, made of the cassava root per se. For example, there are some nuts combinations that can give you a crunchy and very sandy looking or very powdery looking dish that can be called farofa in here. So not 100% of times it must have the cassava root, you know. But I know that's the one you want to try because you haven't tried it. But in here, you can even make a farofa out of banana peel, for example. It just needs to be a very powdery and crunchy dish or side dish. So she's not digivolving yet. I'm starting to get worried because they were digivolving super fast, but not anymore. Am I messing this up? You wish you had chips right now? In the past days, I have been craving McDonald's a lot, but yesterday after the stream, I did myself some burgers, so today I'm feeling better about it. Actually, now that you are mentioning it, I need to remind myself to buy potatoes. I cooked a potato today, but I'm running out of them. I only have one more, I think. So this week I need to buy more potatoes, more ham, cheese, bread. What was the other thing I had to buy this week as well? Oh yes, apples. I'm out of apples. I'm not really understanding why are you not digivolving. Maybe that situation regarding getting a very good rank or having a very good tamer level is only an illusion of mine that it would speed it up, like speed every digivolution, because it seems that I'm a master, but my Digimon is not digivolving, even though she's freaking very happy, right? How am I not under the conditions of a first digivolution already? And please give me a Palmon, because if it is a Betamon, I'll need to go for Mojamon probably. And then that's not the plan. What if this is happening because I'm giving my Digimon meat and not sirloins? Maybe that's what I'm messing up in here, right? It's because I used to think that Palmon was very thin, so let's not give her a lot of weight, although maybe she needs more, because that's too low. Okay, I'm giving you a sirloin this time. Yeah, it's not working. Are we getting another Numemon again? Yes, I don't think this is about her wave now. What the heck? Yeah, she has max happiness. She has a good amount of stats. It must be her wave, right? Or do I need to do something like praising and scolding? But this is not normal. What the heck? I love how we are raising our 50th Digimon, and then I feel like I still don't know anything about this game. This is going so out there. Yeah, it is the 50th, right? Man, please digivolve into something, come on. Is this like the episode of Pokemon that you have a Bulbasaur and Bulbasaur doesn't want to evolve? Am I having Tanemon forever? Is that the deal? Maybe now? No! What the heck? Hi Meowser, how are you, man? How's your Sunday? We are going for Mega Tanemon run, right, Subaru? Kinda like that? I don't freaking get this. I think it's because of her weight, but it's not that bad, come on. Wait, the Super Bowl is happening? I remember the talk that I was having some days ago, maybe a week ago, and we were talking about visiting other places and countries. And a friend of mine was saying that if he ever could go to the US, he would love to go to those things like the Super Bowl or to the, I don't know, to a basketball, an NBA game or something. The NBA game I can see him getting excited for, but regarding the Super Bowl, I have some mixed feelings about it. Because I heard from many people that the game itself sucks, but what's good about it are the ads or the commercials, plus the concerts. But then I don't know if it makes it worth for you to go to the Super Bowl, you know? So, how's your opinion about it? Do you like the game as well, the Super Bowl game? Or do you check it because of the commercials or the concerts? I really heard some people saying that the game itself sucks. Oh, it's because they're doing the pre-game stuff now? I don't know why, I also thought that the Super Bowl would be happening later in the year, like in March. Oh, you don't like American football? Yeah, I heard that opinion from most people that like talk about the Super Bowl. And then I was telling this friend of mine, like, look, maybe you won't like the Super Bowl because other than the commercials and the concert, people say that the game is boring and long. So I don't know if you should like go there, but he was very certain about his decision of like, but it's what people are hyped for and I gotta live the experience. Okay, just be careful about your expectations for that. But I do have another friend that went to the US and he bought tickets to go see the NBA. Yeah, he went to see the NBA. I don't like basketball, but I can understand him being hyped for the NBA, right? And I don't know what's going on with this Tanemon, for real. I have no idea what's going on. I wanna believe this is something good, but it can't be good, right? But I gotta see if they're going to kill my intrigue. Oh, it's finally happening. It only took forever. And I think it's because of the wave. But I still don't think this is good. I won't have a lot of time to turn you into a champion or something. But it is a Powerball like I wanted, so thank you for that. You like the commercials, but your girlfriend actually she has a friend playing in the Super Bowl? Oh my god, that's like a very small world, right? Damn. You know what's funny? I was rewatching one of my childhood's favorite series. I kind of want to finally watch it all because I have never finished watching it. I don't know if you have heard of it before, Meowser, but it was a Nickelodeon's classic. It's called The Adventures of Pete and Pete. In that show, they have many scenes of American football, and they also have a whole episode about a marching band. It's funny how those things are very traditional in the US, especially, as they are not traditional in here, but I think it's probably very great for you to also see those things, right? Like before the Super Bowl game, not only because of the famous artists that's there to sing or to have their concert, but like to have a marching band, the cheerleaders as well. Those are things that are not at all common in here. But I think it could be good to see that energy or all of that, not only in schools, but especially in big events like the Super Bowl. That put me to think like, oh yeah, it gotta be great for you to see a marching band. Like, man, especially when they have a choreography or something. So now that I have Palmon, I was saying that I would train her speed, right? But yeah, I hope your girlfriend's friend can win the game. Well, even though we don't have a lot of time for Palmon to Digivolve, at least she already has a lot of high stats, right? So maybe that's good. Now the issue is the time. But I'm actually surprised because I thought that the Super Bowl was something to happen in March. Maybe I was thinking like that too because I did not see anything being said on Twitter about the Super Bowl. It's not about the Super Bowl, but I just remembered the sequel to Space Jam. I wonder when they are going to release that movie. Since you stopped working in a kitchen, you have not been hearing any news about sports. Lately, me neither. Sometimes I know about some Brazilian games because people shoot fireworks in here, but yeah, lately I haven't been following any news on sports. I do miss the Olympic Games or some Pan American Games or something big like that. But yeah, besides the Brazilian games that people shoot the fireworks in here, I'm not following many news of sports. I just found out the Super Bowl was today, 2 days ago. You see, I also didn't see anybody talking about it. Welcome back, Victor. I was wondering where you were. I just went down for like 20 minutes for no reason. Thankfully, it's back now. I had an internet problem this week as well. Actually, what happened was that somebody was doing some. Actually, the company, right? The company, the internet service, they were doing some repair or prevention measurements in my building, and then they had to like take the internet off or make the internet to be off for some minutes. And then I didn't know what was going on, so I called them, and then they told me that somebody was already working with the internet on my building. But to my surprise, they had to come to my apartment because they were also replacing or changing the old device into a new one. So I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Because if there is something that I hate are surprise visitors, especially when it's like a very bad moment for it. So thankfully I was able to ask the person to like, can you wait for 10 minutes please? And then guys, I was like organizing all of my mess in here because my apartment has been messy. I was able to organize my apartment, and then the guy came here to change the device, and then the internet returned to normal. But man, I hate that so much. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, everything was super messy. Well, that was good because now my room is a bit cleaner, but I still hate surprise visitors. Do you know why you were having the internet issue, Victor? Is it raining in there or something like that? Also, Meowser, I have a question about the Super Bowl. Is it empty? Because how are they doing it during the quarantine or the pandemic? Is there any sort of safety going on in there? No idea, it just went out. Also, changing the topic completely. Oh, really? You want to poop now? Come on. You know what? I'll give you a toilet. Or a potty. Yeah, changing the topic completely. This week, I learned that Australian musical instrument called uh, didgeridoo. I learned that was originally made with the help of termites. Like the termites were the ones responsible to make the holes on the instrument so you could play music out of it. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So that's a fun fact for you. And I'm saying that because I'm always talking to music with Ultros and Victor. That's one musical fun fact I learned. Thanks to my 3DS crosswords game that gives me a random fun fact about a random word every day, And then I got the word didgeridoo, which is that musical instrument from Australia. They were telling me that they make the holes of that instrument by using termites. I'm like, what? Maybe today it's not like that anymore thanks to technology and stuff, but I was still shocked by those news. And still speaking about animals, I also learned about the existence of hissing roaches. Please do never give me one of those or show me one of those. We already have the terrifying flying roaches in here. I don't want to find a hissing roach. And I was also shocked to learn about the existence of hissing roaches. Not only they need to look ugly, but also now they make annoying noises or disturbing noises. Yeah, that's the didgeridoo, correct. I had no idea termites could be helping them to make that instrument. It's such a crazy thing to think about. Like, how can you tell the termites to like make the holes perfectly? Like, how is it going to fit? You know, I don't know. I was a little mind blown by that fact. Oh no, Victor's internet is still bad. We did an experiment on one last week in your animal physiology lab class. How was the experiment? Meow, sir, I don't know if you were here when I was also talking about facts about animals that shocked me. Like some weeks ago, I learned that snakes they do not blink, and I was like, how torturing it might be for you to not be able to blink, which means that we will always have something to be seen and looking at. I was shocked to learn about that. I was imagining if that was happening in my life and then how I would suffer, like to not be able to close my eyes. But no, snakes gotta deal with that for their whole life. Or fish as well, right? That sounds like a torture to me. What if, I don't know, something uh, aches on your eye or makes it hard for you to deal with it, but you can't really close it? So, like, what if your eyes are dry? Like, if it gets dry and then you can't blink? Oh my god, it makes me so. It sounds like an agony. You imagine in their holes it's a pitch black so they don't need to see things when they sleep. Oh my god, that's actually a good theory. That's a very good theory. Did you watch the? Oh no, Victor, I forgot about that, man. I'm so sorry, I completely forgot about that video. Let me write down a note on my phone so I can remember myself to check that out. Okay, I wrote down a note in here. Never mind, man, it's already in there. You don't need to send it again. I just need to remind myself to do it. The video is on Discord, so it's fine. They have like a hard lens over top, almost like goggles. They go under rocks and things and holes, so there's plenty of darkness there. Yeah, but I was wondering about what if, I don't know, something happens to their eyes and they can't blink. I don't know, something gets stuck in there or it gets dry. I just don't like the idea of not being able to blink. It's such a simple thing to us humans, but when you stop to think it, or when you stop to think about it, I feel thankful for being able to blink. Oh, you are going to bake a cheesecake? Is it going to be a blueberries cheesecake? Because you have been the biggest fan of blueberries lately, right? I think they have it figured out. You bet their tongue is also long enough to take stuff off their islands. Maybe? I can be wrong about what I'm going to say, but I kinda have the impression that the snake's tongue, or when they are like, I don't know, putting their tongue out, even though they have noses, I have the feeling they can sense some sort of smell from their tongues too, even though it now sounds dumb what I'm saying. But I don't know why I had that idea. I know for sure that they put their tongues out for some reason, like there is a reasoning for that. And I always thought it was because of some sort of smelling. Although they do have noses too, so what is the point, you know? But I'm pretty sure I heard something about that. However, since we last talked about that, you have seen another one of those videos and it was the Norwegian version. Oh, you can send that one as well then. He had to end the contest because he had to drive home and start cooking dinner for his family. Is it a it is a contest about not blinking, right? He was like for 2 to 3 hours without blinking. Are you freaking kidding me? I simply can't imagine that. I bet nature has it figured out, or they would have eyelids by now. Well, they have a certain skin, or they have a protection skin, or protective skin, but still, like, things can go bad. They taste the air, so it's about their taste. I mean, it makes sense, it's a tongue, right? They have a specialized organ called the Jacobson's organ. So they taste the air, which means they probably have a very good sense of taste. If they want to taste something in the air, maybe they are trying to taste pheromones or something. Yeah, maybe some other animals know that's a vulnerability, but at the same time, it's an advantage for them because they will never blink, so they have 100% attention on their prey. It allows them to decode the sense or taste and classify it, huh? But off pheromones, I'm guessing, just like the ants. Because they are not like, hey, let me taste the air. Oh yeah, it's tasting rainy today. It's going to rain. No, that's not the sort of test they are doing, right? It's about pheromones, probably. If the prey is feeling fear, they can taste their fear. But what was your experiment you were talking about, Meowser? What was that about? No, that's the wrong place. You were measuring action potential in the lab? Action potential. So we were seeing different reaction times based on various stimuli on the hairs on the leg. Oh no, you were studying roaches? Oh my god. So how was the result like? Man, roaches are freaking fast animals. Those legs probably move very fast. But then there is the universal rule that once the roach is dead, its body will be flipped or turned upside down for some reason. That's a mystery I wish I had an answer. It's kinda poetic even, no matter which roach in the universe you are, they all die the same. Hello Bofty, welcome. Where you are? You are on Twitch. Planet Earth? Honestly, it was kind of a silly lab, but it was cool getting to play with the lab equipment you haven't used before. I can't imagine which lab equipment will allow you to test that out. Maybe some brushes? I'm not sure. It sounds like a heck of a work though. How can you kinda immobilize the roach to test that? Oh my god, we need to really feed this plant. Like a lot. So I'm guessing, Meowster, you still don't have news about those bats that use it to tag them? I think it's funny that how many people are scared of bats, but normally they are chill, you know. Yeah, yeah. That's the last answer you gave me too, which makes sense. But as you are already having some other lab experiments, I was wondering if you were also back to that. Oh, during this time they are hibernating? How old are you right now? 7 years old. Let's see if we have a chance here, but we really messed up with her weight for some reason. It's a bit higher now, but it's still not great. What will I do in case I get another Numemon? Because I don't have an item to turn him into an ultimate, right? Probably I'll need to go to the ancient Dino region and spend some time there until he dies or something. Although Palmon's stats are very high for her to turn into a Numemon. It's just this wave. I'm pretty sure it's the wave. But I also don't want to force food inside of her because that can backfire us. Although I'm kinda running out of a choice, right? Wait, unless I try using one of my items, I'm pretty sure there is an item that makes my Digimon very full. But it's probably a very rare item. I don't know if it is worthy for this time. Let me check what I have. This boosts the training effect? Never mind, I don't have an item that boosts their wave a lot. That item is the sirloin. Oh yes, I forgot that I have the flaming mains. But I will see which champion Palmon is going to turn into. Even though I have low hopes of it being a good one. Why is it so hard, like? Why can't I finally see Palmon's best Digivolution? Even when I have good stats and she's very happy and stuff, it doesn't work. It's never enough. But sure, you need to get more sirloins. Am I ready for this? Oh, we are good. Yeah, that's the attack training I gave her. You know what? I think I will force the food. I don't know if they are punishing me for this. Maybe I'm not getting punished because I did not notice her happiness to go down. So maybe there is no punishment? It's time. But we messed it up, right? Oh! Look at that! I actually did not mess that up. And I was rewarded with a new champion, Ninjamon, also known here in Brazil as Coxinhamon. That was very lucky because I was thinking the run was ruined. It's Ninja, the Fortnite player, right? His final attack is the Iga School Knife T. Whatever that T means, is it for technique maybe? It's funny that when we met him in the game, he was saying, I came from a ninja village. Maybe it's that Iga village, right? Wherever in the Digimon world that is. His special attack is complaining? Complaining? Wait, why is it complaining? Oh, it's the of Twitch, right? It's the Iga School of Knives from Twitch. Well, let's go check the chart again. Okay, that was the speedy option for Palmon, like I was suspecting that she would have a speedy option. I still have no idea how to get that first option right there because I don't remember what I haven't tried. But hopefully someday we can finally figure that out. But what about Ninjamon per se? Can you digivolve into something new? Can you learn new attacks? Oh, maybe he can learn the last grass attack. We gotta still learn that one, right? Oh! Look at that! He has three options. You always think of Die Antword when you hear ninja. Who's that? Actually, never mind. Maybe that's German, right? It's the Antword. Yeah, it's probably German, and then it's not Die, it's D, right? Die der das. The articles in German. Not even sure what's that first. Me neither. I have been dreaming to learn that or to find that out. I have no idea. Of course, don't tell me because I would rather learn that by surprising here. But yeah, it's still so mysterious for me to understand who is the real Palmon's champion. I have no idea. But at least I got another option in there, Ninjamon. Oh, that's a band? If you want to see some crazy videos, I should check them out. What do you mean by crazy videos? Do you mean disturbing videos? Do you mean good videos? Crazy is such a generic word, right? It can be good or bad. Must be a 2 plus requirement Digimon? Do you mean like a very specific Digivolution? It seems like. But I really liked that Ninjamon has two possibilities or two new possibilities for his ultimate. That's a bit promising. I just don't know if I have enough time for that. Oh, you think they are good, but they are weird and very strange. In well, if you're saying you think they're good, then they may not be very disturbing, right? So I would probably like that. But I will give you an example of an artist that has very weird videos and also very weird music too. I don't even know if you guys have heard his name before. I'm thinking about Aphex Twin, Or yeah, Apex Twin, right? I love how I almost said Apex, but Apex is a game. No, it's Aphex. Aphex Twin. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's an electronic DJ or musician. His music videos are the most disturbing thing you'll ever see. There is one that I don't have the bravery or the courage to go back to it. But all that my memory still remembers about it is of a very weird, skinny, green, old person on a wheelchair in a dark room making weird movements. And that video is like something that I do not want to ever go back. Yeah, Aphex Twin. I mean, they could be disturbing to some people, but just because they are very weird, huh? They act in the movie Chappie. Isn't Chappie the one with the robot? Or am I mistaken? But yeah, if you wanna see some weird shit, go look for wait. Aphex, there we go. I got confused about the two names again. Aphex Twin videos. But if you want my personal recommendation, of course, go check Interstellar 500 wait 5555, which is the compilation of every Daft Punk video clip for the Discovery album. It's a whole movie. It's fantastic. It's animated by Toei Animation. Highly recommended. Fantastic soundtrack plus fantastic movie. But also the Chemical Brothers video clips, especially the old video clips of theirs. It's really great. Especially my favorite, Let Forever Be. I love Let Forever Be video clip. It's weird, it's crazy, it's trippy, but it's not disturbing. It is something like full of visual effects. I really like it, but it's not the only one. There are very great the Chemical Brothers video clips out there. They are Chappie's friends, Yolandi and Ninja. I don't know who are they. Let me Google Chappie in here. But it is the robot movie that I was thinking. Yeah, I saw it on Netflix. Like it was in there. I haven't watched it, but I saw it was on Netflix. Have you watched that movie? Is it good? Wait, are you saying that Ninja is in the movie? Not the streamer, right? Joe Danson and I went and saw the Ant World in Chicago forever ago. It was a crazy concert. Everything you're saying about this band sounds crazy, right? Are they a metal band? What is the music genre? So yeah, he has two ultimate options as I don't know. Wait a minute, but one of the options is Mamemon. Yeah, I know how to get Mamemon from Frigimon, which was pretty much by balancing his stats into 500 on everything. Maybe I'll need to make hard decisions now and not get everything into 500. Because otherwise, he could turn into Mamemon, right? You know what? Let's go for offense, which is already high, speed, that's already high, and defense. Let's skip brains. Also, by the way, can you guys hear the Vuvuzela? There may be some soccer games happening right here, right now. But yeah, I heard the Vuvuzela outside. Yeah, somebody is celebrating probably thanks to soccer games. It is a South African hip hop? That's how Wikipedia classifies it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hip hop, but if I had to pick my favorite hip hop songs, then I would say 2000s hip hop. Yeah, that's that's mostly because it's nostalgic to me. But I normally don't listen to hip hop. Although recently I kind of started a hip hop playlist on Spotify, but it's like a mix of things. It's not necessarily 100% pure hip hop songs. It's more about some songs that can be electronic, that can be pop, but they kind of have a little bit of their lines in a hip hop way, you know. But it's not like a 100% hip hop song. And then I created that playlist recently, but yeah, I don't listen to hip hop that much. So I'll give this a shot. I will try getting his defense over 500, but not his brains, even though his brains are growing right now as well. But hopefully, this is going to do it. If not, with Metal Mamemon, we can still learn more tech attacks. But at the very least, we got a new champion, which has been a while, because I have been noticing how much more times, or wait, how much more, right? How much more I have been getting ultimates instead of new champions. But you know what's funny? I think that this Digivolution makes sense. It makes sense because one of the DG eggs, or maybe I should say one of the Digimon crests, which is the Sincerity one, or Sincerity, I'm not sure how to translate that or to pronounce it actually. One of them is about Ninja Digimon, right? For example, in the season 2, Hawkmon digivolves into Shurimon? Yeah, Shurimon. Thanks to that Digiegg. So this in here makes sense, like Palmon, it's the same thing. And he's very thin again. Could that be a problem for me to digivolve him? I guess I will make him fall again. Or stuffed. Especially because the game was not punishing me for some reason, so sure. Get more sirloins. Okay, we can try raising the wave from now. Or from now on. In a normal way. Instead of giving him everything right now. There we go, we got 500 on the three things I wanted to focus on. I will keep on training them because that's the decision I made. I will try to ignore brains. I hope that's the good decision. Well, now we also will need to deal with a mistake that I hope will be for the good. I still can't imagine what he can digivolve into, like, no other Digimon resembles him to me. He's such a specific Digimon. Wait a minute, what if he can turn into Piximon? Because maybe his deal is like being tiny. Because one of his Digivolutions is tiny, it's Metal Mamemon. Maybe one of the other options is actually Piximon that's also very tiny. I can see him digivolving into Piximon. Actually, Subaru is kinda pointing that out to me right now as well. He's like, what do you mean by none? He's like a ball with arms and legs that are many like that. Yes, I'm thinking on Piximon now. But that's kind of the only one I could think. Wait, unless that other one is a notemate? The Gearmon that has a hook on his hand or something? In case you are a possible Piximon, what should I train for you? I mean, I could go HP and magic points, but I'm still thinking that they don't matter. At least for many other Digivolutions, they were not important. Oh, Giramon is an outmate? Yeah, that's the other one I could think of. Although, what if Pixelmon demands brains? No, but I have made my decision. I will not change his brains anymore. I will guess Pixelmon is about the speed. So I will get his speed to like 700 and hope for the best. There it is. That was kinda fast. Now I will also go for 700 of attack. That was a very weird noise, by the way. Oh, but you know what? Maybe I'm getting Gearmon because he has pooped on the ground already, so that's a mistake. I cannot imagine Piximon with mistakes. And then you are tired? The only bad thing about getting this one Digimon is that he looks like food to me. So even though I haven't had spaghetti for lunch today, I'm feeling hungry. Because he looks like a fried snack. This is like Paimon from Genshin Impact. He has a meme of emergency food. Wait, who is Paimon? Also, why is he named Paimon? Because Paimon is a Digimon, right? It ends with Mon, it's a Digimon. Why is there a Digimon in Genshin Impact? Well, actually, it seems to be a demon from hell. Jesus. One of the three kings of the hell. Damn. That's not what I was expecting to find on this search. The NPC asks her what she was, the NPC asked her what she was, or what she is, and the protag always has the option to answer emergency food. What the heck? What? If they were trying to make a joke, it made no sense to me. Of course he gets angry with that answer, right? Who wouldn't? Or maybe confused. Confused or angry works. So this is going to be it for 700 of attack. And then now I have no idea. He's already 11 years old, so our time is almost over. Should I try stretching it to 800? But isn't that a lot? But you know what? I will try it because remember when I got Metal Grey, not Metal Greymon, a Skull Greymon. I had like 800 of brains. Maybe 800 is an important number, so maybe for this one guy it's 800 of speed. Oh, by the way, he's not happy. I just noticed that. Yeah, that's for sure. This is the most ninja coxinha I have ever seen or had. That reminds me that one day I saw some news that there is this one restaurant. I think it's in São Paulo actually. That it's a coxinha specialized restaurant. They had a caviar coxinha that cost like 80 reais or something for a single coxinha. I still, of course, haven't had caviar and I may never have that, not only because it is expensive, but also because it's seafood and I don't like seafood. But at the same time, I can't imagine what people see on caviar. Like, how can it be so great? What is coxinha? Coxinha is a savory snack, fried snack, that has like a potato based dough and it has something inside of it. That's normally chicken. The traditional coxinha is a chicken snack. It has the shape of this one Digimon right here. That's why we are making jokes about it. His shape, his color, everything about him looks like a coxinha. It's a fried, savory, normally chicken snack, but you can also find cheese coxinha. And then on this one restaurant, I learned about this caviar coxinha. It is actually one of the few chicken dishes I can eat and like, but it's definitely not my favorite as I'm not a big fan of chicken. And I would rather have chicken nuggets. Yeah, I do like chicken nuggets. But yeah, it has a certain potato dough. I'm not sure how they really make it, but I believe they use potato for that dough and then they fry the dough. Caviar isn't like over the top amazing. I imagine that's what I think. It's probably very overrated. It's just these little tiny bursting salty grains. Yeah, right. You can make artificial caviar, and it doesn't need to be from the fish. Yeah, it sounds overrated, right? It doesn't taste like that much like seafood. You have you ever had it? It reminds you almost of like pomegranate pearls. I also should try that one. But it's not salty, right? But exactly, I imagine why people would spend so much money for, I don't know, such a crazy thing. Maybe it's more about the status, like, oh yes, I'm having caviar because I can pay for it. And then that status makes them crazy, and then it makes them to think it's better than what it is. I can see that happening. But in the end, I don't know. It sounds so overrated. This doesn't sound too appetizing, but the tastiest thing you have. you ever ate with caviar was a Greek spread. What is a Greek spread? Mashed potatoes, caviar, lemon, lots of fresh garlic that's all pureed together, and you have it on bread. I mean, I don't think it doesn't sound uh, appetizing like you said. I mean, I can see that working. The fish egg just made it salty, not fishy flavor, really. Yeah, that sounds a bit unnecessary because just add salt instead. But everything you said in there, I can see it working. Especially because in Brazil, we have mashed potatoes hot dogs. People like to add mashed potatoes to their hot dogs. I actually confess, I still haven't tried that. I wish I had though. But yeah, mashed potatoes in a bread, I can see that because of the hot dogs in here. Lots of olive oil, that works as well. Olive oil with potatoes are great, or it's a great combo. And olive oil on bread is good too. It's called scordalia. So the fish eggs is optional, or they are optional, but it's traditional. Yeah, I would rather have that without them. But it gets a certain special saltiness to it. Have you ever tried the artificial caviar? Because it is about molecular cuisine, right? What is your opinion about molecular cuisine? Have you ever tried that? I only see that happening in some TV shows. Normally, people look at it with bad eyes, like people think it's too modern or too like it's too fancy, but in the end it sucks. That's how people normally look at it. But who knows, maybe people can get surprised by it too, right? In a positive way. Like fish sauce in certain dishes, which is disgusting. Yeah, normally people don't like fish sauce, but added to a dish does something nice. You don't care for molecular cuisine? I'm not surprised. You think it's more art, not cooking? Maybe, but I don't know if I fully agree with that. Because it also gotta have some taste, right? Yeah, it's a bit of science as well. But I wouldn't say it's not it's not fully cooking, but there is a bit of cooking in there because the taste of it must match with the rest. There was one thing once that you saw that was really cool. It was like mango, anything mango ultras. You think it's good because you're a big fan of that. Mango juice with some powder added to it. But powder of what? And then you form it into dumplings and drop it into some other solution? Do you mean that you are making some mango drops? And it develops a gel skin around it and you eat them like gummies. Maybe that's what you're saying actually. You bite it or you bite into it and it bursts with mango juice, but the outside is a gummy shell. Okay, that sounds actually very good. And I'm not a big mango fan. It was some chemical powder. Maybe it was. How is that called? It was the gelatin thing. But I forgot the name for that as well. Agar agar? Do you know that? I'm trying to say it in Portuguese, hoping it has the same name in English. It's like a gelatin, right? Sort of, but it was with food safe chemical powders and solutions. Oh, that's the one! There we go! Man, I'm kind of proud of myself to get that word now. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's those uh, chemicals or things that will help you with textures, especially a gel texture, like you said. Agar agar is the one that I see the most in the TV shows. So what else am I training now? I mean, I have no choice. I will go for defense. In my opinion, the craziest dish I have ever seen in a TV show was the episode of MasterChef Brazil where the guy created a guava ice cream that looked exactly like a guava fruit. It was mind blowing. And he had to use liquid nitrogen for his recipe. He basically created sphere looking textures that were like crunchy, and then the other one was the guava ice cream. And then in the inside, like in the core of the ice cream, he added something more liquid or something more juicy. Oh yeah, it was also a guava and cheese combination. One of those layers that was surrounding the ice cream was of cheese because of the Romeo and Juliet combo that I'm always talking about. That's guava paste and cheese, right? And in the end, it looked like a guava. So basically, to eat the ice cream, you had to open the fruit, which was not a fruit; it was a fake fruit. But that dish was like the one of the most beautiful and creative dishes I have ever seen. And that guy won the competition, if I'm not mistaken. It was freaking amazing. The the outer texture of that was crunchy as well. It looked really delicious. But for you, just don't care to see the food look too pretty, fancy, arty. Yeah, I think it's extra. In the end, it's the taste. It's funny that you say it means nothing. I think it means something, but I wouldn't say it's the most important thing about the dish. But I appreciate art, so it does mean something to me. Food has to look presentable to some degree and make sense, yeah, but anything beyond that wouldn't add points to you, interesting. But in the end, it's about the flavor, yeah. If a mango pudding is slopped onto your plate, or if it's formed into a beautiful mold with a nice garnish, the one that would be better would be the one that tastes and feels better in your mouth, even if you can say it looks way worse. Yeah, in the end, I agree with you that it's the taste that matters the most. But for the effort of making it looking beautiful or something, I I could give some credits for that, but definitely not my favorite in case it's not tasting better than the bad looking dish. It's basically extra. And by the way, Ninjamon is thin again. That's the beautiful mango pudding. Yeah, it looks simple, basic, delicious as well. I love how this uh, plating. Hoping that's the word. Looks like an egg because the plate is white and the freaking mango pudding is so yellowish, like a yolk. It looks like an egg. I forgot to check if he could learn something, right? He can't. Yeah, he can't get the last attack. Well, that's 600 of defense. He's probably going to die soon. I wish I could do something about his happiness. Yeah, that's kind of the best I could do. I can try getting his brains to 300, but I don't think that's going to change it. Do I still have those happy mushrooms? I could try making him happier. But training wise, I think I'm alright. That one is awesome too. Okay, let me check that out. What? Right? Because they have everything in common, right? Fish and mango. I don't have a happy... Oh, I have. Okay, let's test this out. That's okay. We can heal him. You like to make a sorbet from mango and strawberry. Equal parts frozen of each, then let it thaw just a bit. Then put in the food processor. Oh my god, you also add some orange juice? Yes, definitely add some orange juice in there. I was saying yesterday that my favorite thing about Outback Steakhouse is a strawberry orange. You should make a strawberry orange ice cream. Actually, an orange ice cream that doesn't exist, right? We had that talk about an orange pie. There is no orange ice cream. Although there is an orange cake, and orange cake is love. And thankfully it's so common here in Brazil. You can go to any bakeries, they you have orange cakes. But yeah, an orange ice cream, I have never seen that. So I will give you even more happy mushrooms. Really? Isn't this supposed to be rare to happen? Wait, orange sherbet is definitely a thing? Really? I would love to try it. I gotta find it. You have had cream cycle ice cream that is based after the frozen popsicle treat thing, vanilla cream and orange. That sounds really fantastic. It's also very colorful. It looks like tangerine. Man, you're now making me dream of orange strawberry ice cream. If only I could have that. So let's test it for the third time, right? Please do not get sick. Are you freaking... What is this punishment? This is why I don't use the happy mushroom in my playthrough. Because when I finally remember about it and try to use it, this is what happens. What were the odds? That's the original one? Also creamsicle, that's the first time I see that word. Oh, it's like, okay, it makes sense what's a creamsicle, right? You know what, Ultras, the fruit ones, the fruit popsicles are the best ones. A passion fruit popsicle, man, it's so good. It is a bit in the childhood, yeah. There is a strawberry one. Yeah, there is a strawberry creamsicle that's so good too. That used to be my favorite, the strawberry one. Actually, buy some more carrots. There is lots of desserts, ice cream flavors, and cocktails themed after it. The vanilla orange one? Orange and mango? Actually, strawberry, vanilla, mango, and orange, right? That's funny. I didn't know this brand was international. You see that truck right there with the heart? That heart right there is a popsicle brand in Brazil. I don't know. Is it called creamsicle? Is that the name of it in Canada? In here, its name is completely different, but the logo is the same. Huh. So they are international. Oh my god, look at that cake. Man, I miss an orange cake. Especially the crazy orange Fanta cake. That's one that I gotta do. Good Humor, is that the name of the brand? In here it's just Kibon. Actually, oh my god, it makes sense. In here it's like this, and the sound of it sounds like this. Kibon, right? And it pretty much means that's good, which I can see a connection between good humor in English, like the translation, the meaning. It's something close. Interesting. So it's not that far from the English name. So I gave you happiness, you have a lot of stats. What else do you need, Ninjamon? You need more food, right? Maybe that's what I'm missing in here. Those are delicious, of course they are. But they are not being sold in Canada anymore. You haven't had one in like 20 years, Jesus. I'm surprised you still remember of them. Also, hi Emily, how are you? We are talking about ice cream and... Yeah, they are called good humor in English, that's so funny. Although these crazy and fancy popsicles, they did not come to Brazil. But I remember the one that had popping coating, because this one of this picture has a cake coating. I remember the one that had a coating that exploded or popped on your mouth, right? It was such a weird ice cream, but it was a good one. I miss that. They do not make food like that anymore, right? That's so crazy. That was really the only food that popped in my mouth. Why is that not a thing in dishes? Is it because it's too childish or something? They should make more dishes that can pop on your mouth. Yes, Emily, I'm also remembering my childhood in here with those popsicles. You are going to try and make them in the summer? Oh, remember the Black Friday of last year that I was getting some utensils and new things for me to be using them, like silicon trays and silicon forms and stuff for me to be cooking? I really considered buying popsicle forms or popsicle shapes, right? Or forms work, but I did not add them. Yeah, I did not add them to my buying cart. But I will. I will buy that form so I can make popsicles. The rocket popsicles, that's how they're called. Why is that not a thing? Like, give us more options of food that can pop on your mouth. Like the rocket popsicle. It was a somewhat strange but pleasuring feeling. But after the existence of that popsicle, I have never seen any other dish in my life that could do the same. Oh, never mind the rocket popsicle you're talking about. It's not the one that I was thinking, but it does have some very good flavors combined: cherry, lemon, and blue raspberry. Your favorite ones are the toasted almond ones? I haven't seen those in here. In general, we had very basic popsicles from this Good Humor brand, and maybe one of the most fancy options was the one that popped on your mouth that I'm saying. But my favorites used to be the fruit ones, like passion fruit ice cream, lime ice cream. A popular one if you live in Canada, but maybe this is just in Ontario, is a no-name brand, okay, called Space Pops. I see, so this rocket popsicle idea really got to people? It's like a Neapolitan version of ice cream, but for popsicles that have like three different flavors together. They were always the best deal for popsicles. So any summer event that schools had and other stuff outdoors, they always bought that kind. I kind of wish the school that I studied could do the same in here, but I do not remember them giving us popsicles ever. You would need to buy them, but that was very nice from that school you studied to give the kids popsicles. Oh, that's the almond one? Let me check. That's very close to the other picture Ultras posted, but it is a different cake coating. And it looks really good. A great taste since 1920. Damn, they are very old. Even as adults, I remember hanging out at like car shows, and someone would be like, "I'm gonna go eat a box of Space Pops," and we would all have one and like them. I imagine my experience with popsicles remind me of summertime, especially when I was traveling with my family to the Northeast region. I used to be buying some of those fruit ice creams from this brand, Good Humor, every time we were going to the beach. You guys have never had it? Not the one you showed me. No, that one did not come to Brazil. Space Pops are $6 for 30. Wait, for 30 Space Pops? That's very cheap. So even fundraisers like school stuff, you sell them $1 each, people still buy. Man, if they were selling each of those rocket popsicles for $1, they can make a lot of profit out of it. They also had those ones that look like strawberry ones but in chocolate. Wait, a chocolate is strawberry ice cream? Do you mean like a chocolate cover or coating? Man, I would love to have a strawberry ice cream with a chocolate covering. That sounds perfect. That's actually one of my favorite bonbons. Do you guys know what's a bonbon? It is the strawberry flavored but with a chocolate around it. It's one of my favorite bonbons ever. Hopefully you know what a bonbon is. You don't know what's a bonbon? It is a tiny chocolate, normally chocolate, dessert that it has like wrapped paper? Wrapper paper around it, and it has all sorts of flavors. It is like a small candy, but it's not a candy. I mean, maybe it's because candies, truffles. Okay, maybe truffles work. Yeah, I can see them being closer to truffles than candies because candies to me is like halls or I don't know, some drops. No, bonbons are more like truffles because they are chocolate. It can be white chocolate, it can be almonds, it can be a lot of things, but it's different than candies to me. And then there is a strawberry flavor that has chocolate around it, It's my favorite. It's so good. That and the banana one. I will admit, there is a whole war about. You guys probably also have those chocolate boxes that come with all sorts of bonbons and truffles, all different flavors and tastes. In here we have a box like that with all sorts of bonbons, and there is a war between people to decide if the banana bonbon deserves love or not. To me, it is one of my favorites. It is a dry slash candied banana covered in a chocolate coating. It is delicious. It is very good. So it's one of my favorites, but some people hate it. Some people think that it should disappear from the world. No, the banana bonbon is also one of my favorites. The banana and the coconut. You like chocolate covered strawberry? That's a fondue, right? Or fondue, I'm never sure how to pronounce that. I can't do French. Maybe it's fondue. Yeah, I think it's fondue. Man, he's already 14 and I have no idea what else to do. Let's keep on boosting his defense. Is it fondue? Oh! Oh, he's dying. There we go. Okay, so next time we get Ninjamon. Maybe should go for brains. And maybe he should be heavier. That's an unmatched flavor. Oh, there they are. Man, that's so good. You guys are making me going to attack my guava paste after this stream with all of those desserts that we are talking about in here. I need to eat something sweet now. Yeah, me also, we are dead in here, but I'm not surprised. At the very least, I got a new champion, so that's something. Maybe strength? Not strength. Um, do you mean attack? Maybe attack and speed? Although they were over 800, come on, they were. I trained those too. Yeah, offense. There we go. Well, sorta is, and it isn't fondue because fondue is served in a certain way. Oh, that's true because fondue is served with hot chocolate, right? Or like a melted chocolate, and then you do it yourself. While on that picture they are kind of already frozen, but not really frozen. It's like a different texture. Yeah, I can see the difference. Well, for the next round, let's try Ninjamon again. Let's alternate. We try Ninjamon and then we try the best evolution for Palmon. We used to set up a chocolate fountain at work. Man, are you kidding me? At work? Oh my god, chocolate and pineapple? Dude. Oh my god, Ultras, you are giving me ideas in here. I love pineapple cake, but I never considered adding a chocolate coating to it, and it may be delicious. Dude, I now want to eat a pineapple chocolate dessert. I have never thought about that. And you all still need to go after the freaking carrot cake with chocolate coating. Because that's the best cake ever, especially after it's cold. Like you put it on the freezer or refrigerator and then leave it in there for some time. When it's cold, it's so good. But man, a pineapple and chocolate, I wanna try that. We had chunks of pretzels, hard chip style pretzels, pineapple, strawberries, marshmallows. What about the grapes? Like grapes are also very common for that. So I'm going to save it in here and we'll be trying another cycle on next Sunday because now on Saturdays, like I said in the beginning, it's for Roller Coaster Tycoon. And even though this was a somewhat very weird cycle today, because I was thinking I was messing it up completely and then it was taking forever for my Digimon to digivolve into anything, can't say that I'm sad about the results because I at least got a new champion that has potential. Like, he can become two different ultimates, so we should investigate Ninjamon way more in the future. But to take a small break, let's try Ninjamon once again. Hopefully this is going to be it. Let me just check the day. Oh, today is day 21st. Never mind, so it means Kunamon is not an option. Yeah, we'll try Ninjamon again. Can't say that I'm very confident about our success, but we gotta keep on fighting, right? But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I will not start the cycle right now because in half hour or in a half hour the Big Brother Brazil is going to start, and today I think it's going to be a very serious episode because a lot of heavy shit happened today during the late night. So I'm very curious to check that out. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great week and a great night. And take care. And I see you then. Goodbye.